Video number 8 for the 10 stitch squares baby blanket. I have completed that corner and you can really see the nice eyelet stitches there. It's a good example of that. Now I'm going to continue attaching on the first square, while at the same time I'm going to start attaching on the second square that I'm making. And I'm going to continue this blue row all the way down here just to do a simple bind off down here at the end. So here we are attaching to the first square, looking for that next bar, slip, slip the first stitch with the yarn in front, knit across 8 stitches, six, 7, 8. Now, here's your last stitch. You're going to slip it as if to purl, and then you're not going to go, hello Sasha, you're not going to go on this first one. That one's what your slip join stitches are into there. So you're going to go into this next bar. You can see that bar. It's to the left of the eyelet row there. Knit into it, slip your slip stitch over your knit stitch. You are now attached on both sides. Now this is what is different in a squares blanket from a regular blanket, is that you are attaching a new square to an existing blanket. So in this case, the existing blanket is just one other square. So you will then knit back and forth, and you will be picking up on both sides. So here is your existing square or first square. You're going to pick up a stitch there in that next bar, turn, yarn in front, slip that first stitch, yarn in back to knit, knit the middle 8, slip that last stitch. You can see how your slip stitch join here is turning the corner. You're going to pick up that next bar, knit into it, slip the slip stitch over the knit stitch. Try not to get caught up on the kitten's tail. Kitty always has to help. And back again. Again on this spot, on a row like this where you're going back and forth between the two squares, you're going to monitor how much of each one you have left. They should match up, but sometimes for some unknown reason they don't. And then I would put a few extra pickups on the side that has too many left. So if I had too much left on this side, which is way too soon to tell, I would pick up in one of these middle of the garter row here I would pick up that stitch instead of the bar. And then on the next one, I would go garter stitch. And then on the third time back, I would go back to the bars. So I would go garter, garter, bar, bar. And then that way I would be losing it, kind of adding another stitch on this side. And if I needed to, I would continue to do that on and off, and do it slowly. Don't do it right back to back and for a long period of time, or it will look, it might look funny. I've not had that problem, but also it is better to pick up more stitches. Actually, you would pick up more stitches on the end you're short on. I think I said that wrong. So you would pick up more stitches on the end that you are short on. If you're really off, you might want to look back into your corner and maybe redo it, because it might not lay flat. I had to do that on one, where somehow in the corner I didn't pick up the stitches right or something. I had to tear, I decided to tear that whole corner out and redo it, and then it turned out much better. It's, if you're off by just a little, it's okay to fudge and pick up extra ones on the short side, I would say. But if you're off by too much, look back into your corner and redo. Or if your corner for some reason doesn't look right, sometimes, until you get the knack of it, it's a little tricky. Okay, so I am going to finish attaching these all the way down, and I believe the next video, video number 9, I'm going to make a whole nother square. Actually, I'm going to finish this whole first row, and then I'm going to come in on the second row and show you how to attach one on the top. So you have one whole row of squares done and attached, and you've got a third square ready, or a second row square ready to go on. Now when you're going to do your second row square, you will be, okay, so here's your first row. You will be attaching your second row square here. So you would do 1, 2 sides of your new square. You do the middle, the second square, and then 2 sides of the third square, and you would be ready to attach it along this edge. So in that case, you'd be attaching this third side here and then completing a fourth side. So this is video number 8, and look for number 9.